I hate to make this video, but it's clear that Sami Zayn just does not understand the United States, and he just doesn't understand. For people who haven't been paying attention, Sami Zayn tweeted this. Uh, when the protests of the lockdowns were taking place, people were taking screenshots of individuals who were saying things like, "I want to have a haircut," or "I want to go to the restaurants," or something like that. Real frivolous things, but which is kind of beyond the point. The point is to end the shutdowns because people want to go to work, and people are being impoverished by this government shutdown. And this is what Sami Zayn had to say. There is this type of stupidity and privilege that is distinctly American, encapsulated perfectly by the idea that we're being oppressed and losing some sort of ideological war on freedom if we can't spend our evenings in a packed TGI Fridays at the height of a lethal viral outbreak. And of course, he was criticized by this. Road Dogg, for instance, criticized him, and Sami Zayn responded, clearly not calling all Americans or liking TGI Fridays stupid. In short, I'm saying that conflating safeguarding public health through responsible social action with a non-existent war on liberty is stupid and stems from a hyper-individualism specific to American culture. Again, he doesn't understand that rights exist, and they are not suspended in pandemics. They are not suspended after school shootings. They are not suspended at all. That is the purpose. That is the point. That is the United States. He is from Canada. Okay, this man is from Canada. He doesn't know civil rights if they slapped him across his bearded face. He doesn't understand what they are. Because in Canada, you don't have any fucking rights. You can just redesign the entire society from the bench by judges if you wanted to. Okay? They don't have the Second Amendment rights that we have. They don't have the First Amendment. They damn sure don't have the First Amendment. Canada has had speech codes. Last I checked, they've had speech codes since the 1970s, which was probably before Sami Zayn was born. Okay, there has never been free speech in Canada. And they turn around and decide who can speak and when at a whim. In the United States, we have arguments over that sort of thing. Only in small fiefdoms like New York and California can you put in a speech code and people not get sued. Okay? And that's again in California and New York, where most of the people moving there either commute there or don't really stay there, or it's just large amounts of people. But in most of the United States, you cannot get away with speech codes. Okay, he doesn't understand. The quote-unquote hyper-individualism is just individualism. It's just people don't want the government telling them what they can and cannot do. That's all they want. Now, it doesn't matter if they want to go get haircuts or go to TGI Fridays. That's not the point. The point is the government should not be telling you where you can and cannot go, should not be shutting down your business, should not be telling you that you can't make money. The interesting thing about this is this rant, I thought maybe it was in character. Road Dogg said maybe it's in character. A lot of people seem to think that this is serious. I'm going to assume that Sami Zayn is being now he is a Bernie bro, and he's egregious with his Bernie bro isms, his politics, which I don't really care that much about. Again, I don't hate Sami Zayn. I muted Sami Zayn on Twitter because I was beginning to dislike him for stuff like this. It was becoming routine that he was saying and doing these bizarre things. But it just boils down to Sami Zayn does not understand the United States, and that we do not suspend our rights. And it doesn't matter what you think about people, what people do with their rights. The point is, we have rights. That's the point. And our rights exist beyond the concept of government. They are not given to us by the government. The government, if anything, is the gatekeeper of rights. That's the point of what oppression is that somebody who does not have the ability to do what they're doing somehow is doing what they're doing. Governor Whitmer in my beloved Michigan does not have the authority to tell people what they can and cannot sell legally in their stores, and yet she's doing it. And then when criticized, she complained, "Oh, I'm just trying to keep people safe." That's not your job. I know people think that that's their job, but it's not your job to have a war on viruses. In the government, that's not your job. Your job is to tell people what the risks are and then tell them, and then they make the decisions for themselves, whether they're going to go out, whether they're going to be in large groups, whether they're not going to wear masks or not. All these states that are trying to mandate people wear masks, all that is a fundamental violation of liberty. You cannot tell people what they have to wear and what they cannot wear. That is the entire point. That is what the rights are. The rights is you cannot force me to say anything. You also cannot tell me what I cannot say. A lot of people get into the muck and mire of these sorts of things, and they lose sight of the main point. And the main point is rights cut both ways. If somebody is being held responsible for what they say, then they have authority. Okay, this is the rights. Rights are a responsibility. You have a responsibility as a United States citizen. If you want to own a gun, you're responsible for that gun. I'm okay with holding people responsible if their guns get stolen and used in a crime, or just like if somebody's car gets stolen and used in a crime. Okay, if you want to have that, you should have protected your car and your car was used in a drive-by shooting or something like that. Okay, I don't see how that person should go to prison because they were the victim of a crime. But it makes sense for you to say that somebody who is responsible for something needs to be more responsible with it. More responsible with their devices and things of that sort. But ultimately, people want to have authority over their own lives. That's the point of responsibility and authority. What is the point of being responsible for anything if you have no authority over it? Okay? People need to have responsibility over their own lives. They need to have authority over their own lives. This is the quote-unquote hyper-individualism of the United States, is that people want to have responsibility and authority over their own lives. Wow. How fucking insane must they be? They must be privileged and stupid. How privileged and stupid to want to be in control of your own life. I tell you now, of course there was a ton of people, 5,000 or 6,000 people or whatever, who liked these tweets. Mostly people who are of a specific political lane, because these people somehow they claim that they love America, but they hate America. Okay, and I don't really care what your opinion of America is, quote unquote. That's not the point. The point is individuals have a right to take risks at any risk that they so desire. Who cares if somebody wants to look, if you're scared, stay in the house. If that's your thing, stay in the house. If you've got small children, stay in the house. If you've got sick parents, stay in the house. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But there are millions of other people out there who don't have this problem, who might have a decent immune system. Their children might be grown and out of the house and they're not coming back. Their children might be dead. Their children might be, full-grown adults or something to that nature, and they want to live their fucking lives. Yes, they want to get haircuts. Yes, they want to well, guess what? Hairdressers don't want to get $1,000 fine for just doing their job either. Okay? So it cuts both ways. It's yes, I want a haircut, and yes, that barber wants to cut hair. So it cuts both ways. But what we have here is a fundamental belittling of the protest. And it's not really about the protest, because the protests were going to happen. Okay? Protests were going to happen because these things keep changing again and again. It was supposed to be until April the 15th. April 15th came and gone, and then all of a sudden there's people saying it's not going to be, these shutdowns aren't going to be over till June, and then there's people saying, you got Disney thinking it's not going to be over till 2021. WWE doesn't think there's going to be over anytime soon, and they're slashing jobs left and right. People are losing their jobs and being furloughed, and the economy is suffering. The markets aren't suffering, but the economy is suffering. The individuals are suffering. And their idea is to belittle, to pick somebody who says something that they don't like, oh, I want to go to TGI Fridays. That does not matter. That may sound funny in a tweet, but that's not the point. Nobody cares about this. Okay? You're attempting to belittle the protest, to ignore a substantial and significant problem in the United States, which is that people have rights. They have rights. And if you don't like their rights, take your bitch ass back to Canada, which is something somebody else said. But we'll get to that in a minute, because I want to make, that's the second part of this video. That's the hot tag to this video. Okay? It's the Cody Rhodes situation with AEW. We're going to get to that momentarily. But the situation is simple. And I hate to make it that plain. Is that, you know, if you don't like America, love it or leave it, man. But that's the most non-violent way of dealing with it. If you don't like something, fuck off. Go back to Canada, where the government tells you what to do. And that what I mean, we're having these conversations in the United States right now where if there is a vaccine, can the government mandate you to take it? Okay? No, they can't. They can't mandate you to put anything into your body. But by that same token, why are they arresting people for putting things into their body? If you want to take the chloroquine and it's not tested by the FDA or whatever, who the hell cares? If it kills you, too bad. If it makes you better, great. Okay? But people have the right to take risks, and any risk that they choose to take, because their body is something owned by them, not by the government. Okay? It's not fundamentally not fair for anybody who lives in a big house somewhere far as hell away from them to tell them what they can do and how they can survive when they don't know. Again, going back to Michigan, there are people who like to farm and garden and all that type of stuff. Whitmer decided on her own, from her throne in Lansing, that, oh, people don't need to garden. How does she know? She doesn't know. She doesn't know everybody in Michigan. She can't possibly know. And then when she was criticized and said that, well, most of the people who get the virus in Michigan get it from, is live in Detroit, not in certain other areas, especially in the Upper Peninsula where it's really cold and stuff like that. And she sort of hand waved that to talk about, oh, they were passing out candy at the protest without gloves on. There were people driving without masks on. Do you understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about people belittling the debate? They will try to divert anything from the actual conversation. Okay? But they don't want to have the conversation because the conversation is fundamentally correct. People have rights. And you do not have the right to take other people's rights away because you're scared. That's the point. End of story. We have a constitution, a written document that does not say there is no stars, there are no asterisks that say unless pandemic, unless school shooting, unless. No. The bottom line is we have a First Amendment fundamental right to protest, which these people were doing, and you attempted to belittle their protest, which you can do. You have the option of saying whatever you want, but you also have the option of being responded to in ways that you might not like, which is the typical American love it or leave it, fuck off Canadian. Okay? But, hey, Sami Zayn does not understand the United States. He doesn't. All right, so let's talk about the second part of this issue. The second part of this issue is, okay, so apparently this guy on Twitter, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not sure what his real name is, but he is a supposedly wrestling insider who says, if Sami hates normal, regular American folk supporting their president, he should go back to Canada, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, look. I agree with that. Okay. So Cody Rhodes also agreed with this. And what happened? Cody Rhodes liked this tweet, if Sami hates normal, regular American folks supporting their president, he should go back to Canada, in my opinion. Cody Rhodes liked this tweet. Then someone else decided, care to explain as to why you liked that tweet, Cody Rhodes? And all of a sudden, it's a big deal that Cody Rhodes liked this tweet. And then Cody Rhodes had the audacity, the guy who has the American flag tattooed on his neck, the colors of the United States tattooed on his neck, by the way. And then someone else posted, super disappointing that you liked this tweet, Cody Rhodes. What? And then Cody responds, whoops, didn't even catch that. Good catch. I didn't think the person writing it was being serious. I like a lot of their fun wrestling posts, not a very political account. What? And then someone else responds, so people are figuring out that Cody Rhodes likes Trump and they're getting a tingle in their twats is both amazing and hilarious. And Cody responds, no, I'm not a Trump guy. And I learned my lesson long ago on social with having politics on Twitter. It can get nasty and distracting. Better to keep that off. Okay, great point. It is better to keep that off. It's better to keep that off. It's better to keep, yes, I agree with you. But these AEW fans, man, this progressive wrestling company that somehow thinks that you need to sit down and get down on your knees and explain to them why you liked a Trump supporting tweet. Even though the tweet itself wasn't Trump supporting, it was about supporting the people's rights to like whoever the fuck they want to like, and to like whatever they want to like, and to protest, and to say things that you don't like. You cannot tweet those things. Okay? Now, a lot of people are calling Cody a coward. You know, they're saying that, calling Cody names. Look, no. Cody is an executive vice president of whatever the fuck at AEW. He's just protecting his business when he says, you know, hey, I'm not a Trump guy, blah, blah, blah. He can keep his political shit to himself, okay? And it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I don't know what Cody Rhodes is going to, you know, what he's putting his money towards. I don't know who Cody Rhodes is going to vote for. And to be quite honest, I don't care. I simply do not care. I do not care who Sami Zayn wants to vote for. I don't care. Okay? Ultimately, my dislike of Sami Zayn's politics doesn't change how I feel about Sami Zayn as a performer. Sami Zayn is a phenomenal performer, but he does not understand the United States. And he should be told that. Look, you don't get the United States, stop talking about it. Okay? Yes, you have friends here. Yes, you may work here, etc., but you don't understand the United States. You're Canadian, and you don't want to understand the United States. Mainly because people don't have principles. Okay? And that's usually what this conversation is about. It's about base, simple fucking principles. Do people have rights or not? For you to say, well, we need to suspend everybody's rights because pandemic, is fundamentally saying that you don't have any principles. The principles are people have rights. That does not change because the world somehow changed. It doesn't change because we are at war. It doesn't change because somebody's school got shot up. It does not change because people are getting sick. It doesn't change. It doesn't change after hurricanes. It doesn't change after earthquakes. It doesn't change after natural disasters. It does not change. Okay? People have rights. Period. Fundamental human fucking rights. One of which is to say stupid shit like, hey, I want to go get a haircut. Because guess what? On the other end of that is somebody who wants to cut hair. Who is being forcefully impoverished by the government. Either that person has right to work or they don't. Okay? And they have a right to work. Because the government has no right to tell them they can't work. And if somebody wants to disagree with me, please tell me where these rights come from. Where does the right to shutting down the economy, where does it come from? It comes from what? A sheet of paper, the same sheet of paper who says you can't do it? If the Constitution is just a sheet of paper, then what the fuck are the laws written on today? Concrete? No, they're written on sheets of paper. So that means if the laws of the land mean nothing because they're old, then why the hell should I follow the laws of today? If you won't follow the law, why should I follow the law? If Gretchen Whitmer won't follow the law, if Bill de Blasio won't follow the law, If Andrew Cuomo doesn't follow the law, why the fuck should I follow the law? If you don't follow the Constitution, which you are taking the oath to protect and observe and understand, and you follow the law to respect my rights, if you don't follow the law, why should I follow the law? Nobody can answer this question. It's all just bluster and people attempting to belittle the situation instead of facing it head on. Even people who say, well, it's supposed to be temporary. That's not the point. It's not the point. It doesn't matter if you give people their money back. It doesn't matter if you give out small business loans so that people can survive the pandemic. For starters, that's a big problem because now you're putting people into debt who might not have even been in debt in the first place. And then secondly, you're taking taxpayer money and giving it to private industries. That's a big fucking problem. I am fundamentally against that. If people go out of business, let them go out of business. But the government is going to subsidize everyone with interest, by the way, because you're going to have to pay interest, of course. What the fuck is the point? How does that benefit you at all? Either way, again, Sami Zayn does not understand the United States. A lot of people apparently don't. People don't understand the United States. They don't understand rights. They don't understand civil rights. They think human rights are things that are created in international organizations like the World Health Organization or NATO or whatever the hell. Those organizations do not create human rights. Human rights are, governments violate human rights. They don't promote them. They don't create them. Okay? The idea that, these people have of what government can and cannot do is absolutely ludicrous. And Sami Zayn just doesn't understand that. He needs to learn about the United States. But as long as there are more insane people on Twitter, he'll never have to actually learn. He'll be able to just keep saying ignorant things and getting patted on the back and rewarded for it, because that's what happens when you say ignorant things on Twitter. But that's fine. In any event, if you like this video, what do you guys think about what Sami Zayn said? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about Cody Rhodes liking the tweet that said if Sami Zayn doesn't like it, he can go back to Canada? But then what do you think about Cody Rhodes backing off? Do you think he's a coward? Let me know. Talk to you guys later.